What's up, y'all? It's Dr. David Roney. I just parked. Yeah, we're making it, man. This is day 26 of 31 of videos every day, you know, posting some financial content. Thank you for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. We sort of slowed on our growth a little bit yesterday, but I think we're at like 100 or 432 views. And if we hit 500, man, I'll make this a consistent sort of, I'll try and post every day, but I'm gonna need some help. You know, today, I really want to talk about electric vehicles, man. You know, I'm like a geek for technology, man. Where you think back in the day, man, one of the first computers someone donated to me was a Commodore 64, right? And I used to take that thing apart, break it all the time, fix it, break it all the time, fix it. So I've always loved computers, man. I used to take old typewriters, try and figure out how they, word processors, try and figure out how they work, man. The best thing for me is I used to go to Goodwill or a thrift shop and I find these old computers, man, and I would get them for like the cheap and see if I can get them working again. And that's what I used to spend my money on. That and then chili cheeseburgers from Wiener Schnitzel in California, man. But like when Tesla came out with their vehicles, man, I was so freaking excited, man. It was on my list of cars. I love cool cars, specifically cars that have like great technology in it, right? And so, you know, after a while, like I was depriving myself of like getting a Tesla because I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not successful enough. I don't need that. I don't need that. And I made excuse after excuse. And then the pandemic happened. I was like, you know what? No more excuses, man. Just like life's too short. Go and get what you want. And then I talked myself out of the one I wanted, which is the Model S. And I was like, you know, I don't need anything that fancy. You know, I got kids that like to eat freaking goldfish and be disrespectful in your car, man. Have you ever seen goldfish in the back of a car? It's freaking ridiculous. But anyway, so I got a Model Y. And then I was so like, cool. It looked great on the outside. And then after like that week of honeymoon, it wears off. And the reason why it wears off is like one time my son was getting in the car and he was trying to like climb in and he pulled like the insulation off of the inside of the door. It just popped off, right? Now, my son's like, I call him Baby Hulk because he is a big kid, but it shouldn't come off that easy, right? And then I just like popped it back on. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And then one day I'm driving, I forgot my sunglasses and I was like, well, let me pull down the sun visor. The sun visor is like the most useless effing thing. It doesn't actually extend far enough to block the sun. And then there's like little things, man. And I watched as many videos. I read the Reddit forums, which are really good. People like go very detailed. I don't know how they go that detailed, but like just like little things. There would be something off with a door panel, like, or the gaps between the panels aren't the same. But the thing that people don't talk about is range anxiety with electric vehicles is like an actual freaking legit thing. When I got my Tesla, the first couple months, I was really scared, man. And then I had like this crazy thing happen where my charging cord, like the resistance in it got too high and then it just like it melted, right? Like literally it looked like it was struck by lightning. So I was extremely exhausted. I had been on call, yeah. And I think I had like 90 miles left, right? Because I went through this thing where I slowly over time like got more comfortable. I would let the battery get down a little bit further, so I can figure out how hard I can push the car, how many days I can go, so I can sort of improve my range anxiety. And so I go to plug up the car and I walk away and then I'm like, man, something's weird. And I open the car and like on a Tesla, you see like a green, like charging. It tells you how many hours left. I'm like, man, this damn thing ain't charging. I'm like, well, maybe I did something wrong. Cause before I had a couple times where I didn't push the charging infrastructure, like the cord in hard enough. Right. And it was just like sort of quasi in there and you think you're charging, you're not really charging. I haven't. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me pull out, put it back in, did that. Did it a couple times and I'm like, damn, this thing ain't charging. And then after a while, you get a flashing indicator on your, and then I go log in, you can see like the log on your Tesla, and it's like, hey, restart. So I did all those things, nothing's working. So then I go, oh fuck, like I got a long day tomorrow. I gotta charge this car. Like, I can't have this. I gotta charge this car. So my dumbass go in and I just type in Tesla charger, right? And I found a charger nearby. Well, guess what? Like, I got there and then I plug it up and I go, this damn thing is the exact same fucking charger I have at home. It's going to take 12 hours to do this shit, right? Like, mind you, I started like 93. I got there. I didn't even charge enough to really get back to 93. So now I'm starting with even less miles than I had. And it was like cold and stuff. And like, so I go to work and and the temperature drops. So then the battery decay, like I can't even trust the mileage on the fucking battery. So then I find this time around, I get smart. I'm not as tired. So then I type in supercharger. So I find a supercharger. It's technically only, I think it was about 5-10 miles away. But then I end up in the fucking traffic, right? So now I'm turning off every non-essential thing, right? I'm turning off the heat. I'm turning off the radio, Bluetooth, all that shit. I'm not playing anything. And I'm like, and I get there with literally miles to spare. When I'm talking about miles to spare, I was like, I'm pretty sure, like I was in the red, well under 20. I think I was like under 10%, right? Which they tell you not to do. So I make it over there and charge, right? And this whole time, I went into the app and I'm like, hey man, something's wrong with my charger. And they're like telling me to troubleshoot. I like did all that shit, right? And so then I was like, someone's like, hey, they can get him to come out to your house. Well, then they're like, well, can you bring the vehicle in? No, I don't have enough miles to bring the fucking vehicle in, right? And I didn't have any time, right? I'm a surgeon. Like, my schedule's like very finite. And so they finally was like, hey man, we're just getting some new technicians. We'll see if one of them can come out to you and figure out what's going on. So then I left work early the following day. They met me out, and like when he compared like the new charging cord to mine, he's like, man, I don't know what the hell happened here, but here's a new one. So basically I had a default, like a faulty charging cord, mobile charging cord, because I use a 240 volt outlet, because you get essentially the same speeds as the Tesla branded wall charger. And my solution was cheaper, right? Because at the time my car came with that, right? And I just needed to get an adapter. So I got the adapter, yeah. And he gave me a new one. I haven't had any issues. But like, range anxiety is a thing. I won't take this thing on super long road trips. The other thing is like for me, being very security conscious, right? Like, these superchargers sometimes they can be located in some sketchy fucking places. And then you have to sit there for 35, 45 minutes to get a full charge. Man, you know, I'm from the hood, right? Like, that can be a very anxiety provoking thing. Like, you're stuck there. That's an easy way to get robbed. So like, there's like some things, right? So yesterday, Tesla and Ford announced like, oh, hey, Ford's gonna be able to use our chargers. That's cool. The problem is there's not enough charging infrastructure, right? And when you go there, some of these places, they might have 10 stalls, right? Like, if you've ever had to wait to charge somewhere, it's really fucking annoying. Like, trying to schedule your day around that is really annoying. And so I try never to have to charge a supercharger. If I go like in super off hours. And so now you're going to increase the number of vehicles, when Tesla is like, sometimes some chargers can be very, very like busy. So now you're going to increase the number of vehicles. And then like, if you're doing a full charge, it takes 30 to 40 minutes, right? So a couple things have to happen, in my opinion, right? If you're going to increase the number of vehicles eligible to use a Tesla supercharger, you got to either increase the amount of charging infrastructure, which Tesla doesn't own, by the way. Like, that's a partnership between whatever organization wants to let them use a part of the parking lot, and Tesla installs. So that takes time. And then that's a high voltage. So like, there's going to be a certain amount of install like ports that they can do over there, right? So there's a cap. So now you're increasing the number of potential cars they need to charge. So either you have to increase the amount of available chargers, or you have to speed up the charger, which is going to be a problem, right? Because that's a lot of electricity going through at once. And then that means they have to increase the efficiency of the charger and sort of change the technology. And this is why I have a tough time with EVs right now. Between the build quality of the Tesla, some people are like minimalistic. They love it. Like, I'm kind of over it, especially when I see a Mercedes EQS that it looks fantastic. And I got a chance to sit in a Cadillac Lyriq, which is fucking amazing, right? The Porsche Taycan, amazing. The problem is the charging infrastructure. Like, yeah, I can use this for a daily driver, but I have the privilege of having a charging infrastructure at home. What if I lived in a damn apartment, or if I was renting, right? And there's no charge. I don't want to have to go to a charging station every so often to charge my car. I'm too busy for that shit. So until they improve that, like, once I'm done with this Tesla, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore, because they need to get further ahead on an adoption curve. I do like my vehicle. I like that I don't ever have to go to a wretched ass gas station. However, it's a hassle, man. It's a privilege, but it's an absolute hassle. Like, if you've ever forgotten to charge your car, thank God I have another one, right? Because if I get called in to go do something at night, like, and you're like, damn, I forgot to charge my car and I got 60 miles left, I don't know when I'm coming home. That's anxiety provoking, right? Like, whatever you want to say. So until there's a couple rules I have right now. One, outside of if you're going to buy don't buy an EV outside of a Tesla. And two, until Tesla improves its build quality, don't buy a fucking Tesla. So right now, just wait, right? Because they got a lot of work to do. They rolled these things out in a half-ass effort. Matter of fact, speaking of the service station that I've had to go to, and I go to, like, when I showed up and they opened, they were still putting paint on the walls, right? They didn't even have all the signs up. And then the guys didn't know. I'm pretty sure they were driving my car away to go somewhere else to charge it. There was nothing in there that was like able to fix it. And then now, like, they can't fix Teslas. And like, if you get a hole in a tire or you get a nail in a tire, they make you buy a whole new fucking tire. They don't fix the tire at all. Meanwhile, you can go to Discount Tire, which is a hack, and get that. So, like, I love EVs. I think they're the wave of the future. But in my opinion, you just got to wait. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I get really passionate about this stuff. I love cars and I love EVs. But, you know, I after this Tesla, I think I just got to wait. I scratched this itch, but I'm going back to really, I'll probably do a hybrid next time so I can get a little bit of the miles around town and then have the backup of the gas. But hope everybody's doing well. I really appreciate your support. Again, it's Dr. David Roney. Follow me on Twitter at FISURGI. Also, follow Substack, man. Hit that like and subscribe button. I hope everybody's doing well. 5 more days to go. Talk to you later. Peace.